Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode of GravyTraining. This episode is Hero Spotlight number 9, Therand. This guy is a powerhouse. So we will jump right into it. So my Therand stats, he's runed actually pretty balanced. But a lot of that is because of the epic and such. A little bit more on the attack side, a little less on the defense side. Pretty good crit chance, could be a little higher, but not something I really worry about that much with Therand. He just does obnoxious damage to begin with. And here are the runes. So I started him out with a caster rune for defense, the attack. The damage reduction just gives him a little bit more survivability, as well as the Unbreakable Heart rune. I gave him the one that comes in the defense flavor with a little bit of attack. He has a hero rune. I was pushing as much attack as possible, so as opposed to like a healer rune or something like that, this has got that little bit of extra attack and some damage penetration, a little bit of defense. And then this is a really powerful tool to use on Therand, and some people have argued against it, but when you really start taking a look at the math, the difference that you're going to get by putting, say, 2 more runes on him that were damage penetration or something like that, or even like upping his crit versus the warrior runes, is that, yeah, you might get 20% more damage penetration. Well, you won't actually get 20% damage penetration. What you'll get is about 18% damage penetration. And with this, you've got a 40% chance to get an extra attack for 100% damage. When you start weighing all that stuff, really the best way to go to maximize his damage is to use warrior runes. Especially because of how much he does follow-up attacks. I could show a team that's got both like Valken and Deadeye in it, and it's just devastating. He just kind of sits back like artillery and just melts everything. And then Warrior Rune is my last one. Attack, health, 20% chance to add an extra basic attack. Also got his epic capped. That gives a 30% chance to do 2 times damage, as if that wasn't enough. And splash damage, and this is on a basic attack, so his basic attacks normally do not have splash damage. This gives him splash damage. And he wounds all enemies hit, which is kind of like, meh, whatever. But wounding will reduce healing, or stop healing. It will also kind of reduce attack power, things like that. Don't quote me on that last part. It might not reduce attack power. I think it's like disease, just in that it stops the healing. His abilities. Oops, actually his passive abilities first. So this is now the 4th dwarf that we've done. He's got Dwarven Resolve. Never misses. Enemies can't dodge. Deals bonus damage to enemies with a high chance to dodge. Typical dwarf stuff. This is where he starts to get gross. Armor's Bane. Takes less damage from armored enemies and deals 2 times damage to armored enemies. Now that refers to this stat like armored here. So not just because they have a high defense or something like that, but they actually have to have the armored ability. He takes less damage from them and deals 2 times damage to them. Stack that with Demolitionist. All attacks ignore armor and deals 2 times damage to construct enemies. So here, if the enemy is armored, they're going to take twice the damage. He's going to ignore their armor. And if it's an armored construct, he's going to do, like, technically, is that 8 times damage? I mean, he obliterates Agnon. So I've got to assume that it's a multiplier there. I never really thought about just how much is getting multiplied, but that is why he will one-shot Agnon most times. He is mystical, so he does more damage, boosted damage versus tanks and slow targets. So, yeah, he will just tear apart tanks as long as they're mystical. Or as long as they're actual tanks or slow. Tinkerer's Tricks. All attacks have a chance to freeze, burn, shock, disease, or poison. This will be a random effect, so you will hit with any attack, whether it's a basic attack or a special. It's got a chance to freeze, it's got a chance to burn, to shock, all that stuff. Not the strongest attack ever, but it is definitely useful. Sorry, my cat is attacking something, making sure it wasn't alive. And now Forgotten Aptitude. So when on a team with High King Valken, this hero gains plus 25% attack, and all of their abilities start powered. No need for festives on Therand at all. Matter of fact, you're wasting them if you put them on him. And when we're talking about, so 25% attack here means he's going to get basically 30 or 2,800 attack onto this. So he will be basically at 14,000. 14,000, just about a little over 14,000 attack instead. If he's on a team with Valken, which he almost always is. Looking at his regular abilities. So this is, once again, this is a basic attack. This is a function of his epic. We've already talked about that. Or did we? Yes, we did. Thermal Detonator, the first attack. Ranged physical attack for 25-95 base damage with a chance to daze, which is a reduction to hit the targeted enemy. Deals splash damage to all other enemies. So this is his first AE attack. Thermal Detonator. This is a nice, solid attack. It's especially good against non-dwarves because they will apply the daze, but typically the daze isn't really a big deal. Cheers Mate, second ability. Melee physical attack. So this was a ranged physical attack. Bear that in mind if you go back and you're combining him with Deadeye. So if he's on a team with Deadeye purges buffs, or has a chance to purge buffs, the entire team on ranged physical attacks. There you go, it's another ranged physical attack. This will purge buffs if he's teamed up with Deadeye. Melee physical attack. 3114 base damage and life steals for 161% of the damage dealt. In effect, he's going to heal himself to full. I mean, he deals so much damage that's guaranteed to be full. Because he's going to do way more than 3114. This doesn't even factor in all the ignoring of armor and everything else. And last but definitely not least, another ranged physical attack on all enemies for 22-25 base damage and lowers their defense by 56%. So yeah, half of their defense just scrapped away. It doesn't really matter as much for him because he's going to ignore a lot of that. But for the rest of your team, it is going to be really nice. So that's pretty hardcore. I almost don't need to show videos on or show anything about how to use them or some battles, but we will anyways, just because it's fun. Matter of fact, I'm going to show. Let me make sure my Deadeye has runes. I'm going to show, because you guys have seen, you can look at plenty of my videos and see Therand with Valken alone and stuff like that. Okay, Deadeye is set up. So I'm going to show you some teams that you can use, almost more for fun than anything, but they are definitely effective. So we are going to go with Deadeye. We're going to go with, Valken, Therand, and Jin. So the key here being that both of these heroes are going to generate follow-up attacks. Deadeye is actually going to generate extra follow-up attacks with Jin because of the Honor-Bound setup, as well as his Bring It Down ability, so that's going to get sick. He's going to ignore Taunt. Therand is going to follow him up. They're going to be purging buffs. It's going to be sick. Alright. So, because I have Deadeye here, I'm going to use, and especially because they're silenced, but it really doesn't matter. Using this team, I'm going to use Bring It Down, which is a ranged physical attack that marks the target. Mark increases range damage dealt, and then all ranged allies make a follow-up attack on that target. So let's kill Agnon. And that is the magic of Therand right there. So because he's got a chance to purge buffs on a ranged physical attack, the ranged physical attack purged the stone form, and Therand just one-shot him. So we will do something similar. We're going to attack Zom, just using Steel Sharpens Steel. That will trigger a follow-up attack. And another one bites the dust. And another one's gone, and another one's gone. And just kills everything. So that's Therand. We'll do one more just because it's fun to watch. And this team is definitely viable. It's viable against most other teams. Like, you're not necessarily, well, you're not going to see Zen teams on defense. It isn't, you don't really ever want to use, or very rarely want to use Deadeye in defense. But he's wonderful on offense. And then especially with, like, uber strong heroes. I mean, Therand, if he did a little bit more utility, he'd be an S. But as it is, he's a high A. And that's why you'll see me a lot of times using helmet missiles first, too, so that I can debuff their defense, and then the rest of the team will clobber. So here I can pretty much pick anybody that I want to kill and say, and you die. And between them all, that definitely works. So there you can see the proc of the extra attack. He threw that extra barrel. And it's just massive, massive difference in damage. We will kill you next. Therand didn't even get a chance to attack. We'll do helmet missiles. We will silence. We will also stop him from attacking. If you guys haven't looked at my Deadeye video, I highly, highly recommend it. This is probably the most underappreciated hero. He's an S-level hero, and most people wouldn't even realize it. Alright, well that's it. If you guys got questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. If you want to give thoughts on who you think the next spotlight should be on, go ahead and leave that in the comments too. But I will get through all the heroes. That's my plan, is to hit all 84 of them. Or potentially by the time I get there, it'll be 85. Who knows? I'm going to be doing, if you've got tactics or mechanics that you need to understand, things like that, leave them in the comments. I answer as many of the comments as I can, as quickly as I can. If you are not subscribed, I'd really appreciate a sub, just at least until I get over 100 subs, so that I can get that custom URL that makes it a lot easier to post and read and type in if needs be. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you again soon. Bye.